Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Mind Your Business. This is my weekly video podcast in which I get to talk about business so that we can create wealth and impact people as women in business. I am Amma Duncan. I am a corporate trainer, business coach, and founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. I am very passionate about working towards an Africa in which women in business are empowered to create wealth and impact people. So whenever I have this opportunity to sit here to interview someone on Mind Your Business or to talk about it, I love talking business, because I believe it's one of the very concrete ways in which we can create wealth. Now, today I have a guest. She is an amazing woman. And for her bio, she just gave me one liner, which I love. She says, I am a cheerleader for most humans. That is beautiful. And obviously, that means she does a lot. And we are going to have the opportunity to talk to her. So her name is Marjy. Marj, well, that is her brand name, but we'll get to know more about her in this conversation. So why don't you join me and let's welcome Marjy on Mind Your Business. All right, thank you so much, Marjy, for making time to come all the way from the United States to Ghana. No, I'm kidding. You are in your home in the US and I am in my home in Ghana, and we are having this conversation. I am so grateful to you for making the time. How are you today, milady?
Well, first of all, good morning. Thank you. Oh, good afternoon. Whatever time it is in Ghana, right? Yeah, I get confused. It's an honor. I am digging your fabulous earrings. Yes. Miss Fashionista. Yeah. And that haircut. You look wonderful, Amma.
You know, I'm blushing. I'm blushing green and purple.
Well, you better blush. You better blush because you got it going on. Yes. And I did all that talking and I forgot what you asked me.
I know, right?
Yes.
So I just asked you how you are. I know you are always doing one thing or the other. How are you doing?
Well, by His grace, I am well. I am motivated to keep pushing and I keep praying for His mercies and stay prayed, y'all. Stay prayed.
Yep. I like that. You know, I'm always learning something new from you. Just yesterday, watching your interview, I wrote something down. I don't want to crucify it. And then today, stay prayed. I like that. So let's dig in. I mean, Marjy, you are an impressive person. I first heard from you from this community that reads books. Oh my goodness. Efiafra Kuma's group. Yes, that's when we first read your book and I was like, who is this lady? And then I saw you all over, people celebrating you and all that. Since then, we've been celebrating you. We'll get to that. But before then, let's talk about you as a young Ghanaian girl. I know you're from Ghana. You grew up here. Tell us about your journey as a Ghanaian girl.
My journey as a Ghanaian girl, that journey never stops. You know, the motherland is in you. It is part of you. It is molded and woven into your being. I grew up in Ghana did my elementary education in Ghana. My formative years, I was a smart girl. I used to get prizes and whatnot at school, and I used to raise my hand and speak up all the time. I did that at church. I did that at school. And so to the rest of the world, I looked like a confident, smart girl. What they didn't realize was that I had my insecurities because I was never considered cool or part of the in group. And so that was tough. Like I wanted to have like my friend too, or my group too. But, you know, I didn't say it out loud. That was something that I dealt with personally. I remember I used to go to church at Emmanuel Presby out in Dansoman, and I would go to Sunday school, you know, who's gonna give a tune? Akos. I'll raise my hand. Collection. Hey, teacher Kovi, Akos. course would go for the collection. Of course would say the Bible verse. I mean, Children's Day, of course. I was very, so if somebody else saw me, they wouldn't have known the insecurities that I had. But then even after church, like they had the adult church on one side, and then they had the children's church on the other side. Even to be able to walk through from where the children were to go across the adults to get to my parents' car, I was dreading the groups that I was going to see. And some of these people were kids that I went to Martin de Porres with, but they were like the cool group, the in group. They were friends. For some reason, I was not part of their groups. And so I would see them, they might be standing somewhere having a conversation. And instead of me just to walk past them to go get to my parents' car, I would take the long way around. So that was part of my formative years in Ghana. And it didn't even stop. It didn't even stop when I was in primary school, where I was getting these prizes, and to the outside world, I looked like I had it all together. No, when I got to secondary school, it kind of continued. On the outside, I was this loud girl, she, Jama, trying to put people together. And then on the inside, I was wondering, like, we had a group of friends. And if my friends happen to listen to this, yes, that is the truth. They were nice to me, but then they were friends with each other. You know how you're part of a friend group and you feel like you're the one on the out?
Right.
Because yes, because everybody kind of has their party. And so I was just wondering what would make me good enough. That was during my earlier years. But then as I got older, I got confident in myself. I got confident in my abilities. And then I found people that I had things in common with. Like I met this girl. Her name was Sandra Kudolo. She liked to read. And I realized that if Sandra is my friend, we have reading in common. If Ajwa Labisian is my friend, we have, I had friends that I had something in common with. I was no longer looking for that BFF. I was no longer looking to belong anywhere. I was just going to stay in my lane and just find bonds and connections along the way. And, maybe that's just how those insecurities were just how I was growing up. I don't even know. But that attitude that I picked up, that strategy that I picked up in secondary school actually helped me when I went to undergrad. Because in undergrad, here I was with my roommates who all went to Holy Child. And they had something in common that I didn't have with them. Because they all bonded. They were all in school together. And here I was, Ibri girls with a bunch of Holy Child girls. And those insecurities were still there in a way. But then I found things that I could bond with them. I had this friend who really liked perfumes. She liked smelling good. Well, I like perfumes too. So we bonded over that. So yeah, those were my formative years. I grew up in a very religious household. We did revivals. We traveled. We did politics too. My dad was involved with politics. I went to a lot of political rallies. I thought I was actually going to run for MP someday when I was growing up. That was before I came to America. So yes, that was life in Ghana.
That could still happen. I mean, I actually see you on stage with your voice and just mesmerizing us. And you're like, take my vote, take it.
Well, the way the Ghanaian political system works now, I don't think I want to get myself involved. Involved. I can support my community from afar. I can get there, do the down and dirty. If it's whatever we're building, whether it's books, whether it's work for the women, I would gladly do that and help the people of Akropong, Akrapim North constituency. Yes, I would gladly help and support them. I would gladly go to Akwamu, Apwasa, But to run or even to dance man, I would gladly, when I come back home, I'm always going to these schools, down where, closer to the beaches or in the smaller villages and meeting with the younger kids. I love to do that, but I don't think I'm cut for the Ghana political system right as it is right now. It's a little bit more cutthroat for me. I don't know about the future. I never rule things out, but for now, no.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, who am I to even say anything when I am here and I'm running away? So moving on to the next topic.
Yes.
So let's talk about you moving to the US. How did this happen? How did you decide, okay, I'm done with home. Let me go and start somewhere else?
I was never done with home. I was never done with home. I loved being in Ghana. I loved everything Ghana. I was a big Katawadia so Wache kind of girl. I'm very culturally oriented, and I decided to come to America for grad school. And I thought I was going to go to grad school and go right back to Ghana but then I fell in love. And I thought that, this guy that I had met, his dad was running a clinic in Kumasi, and I thought he was definitely going to go back home. There's no way his dad is running this clinic and he's going to stay in America. But then he decided he would stay in America. And so then I wasn't going to do a long distance relationship. So I decided that if this was where I was going to be, then your life is now, it's not tomorrow. I'm going to live my life in America because this is where I live, and I'm going to make a home, and I'm going to invest myself in my community here. I do not forget about the community back home. I always give back or go back, but this is where I am now. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to do things later, or when I make all that money, I'm going to go to Ghana and I'm going to build this and I'm going to go here, I'm going to do that. No, this is my life now. So I'm making use of my life now, and I'm so blessed with the wonderful community that has been supportive of me in the USA.
And that is what you're saying is so true. Like, even when I also used to live abroad, but mine was just really short periods, I would encounter people who live there as if this is not it. I'm just here for a little while, and then when I go back home, I'm going to live my life. And they've been doing this for 20 years. And I'm thinking, when are you going to start life? Like, this is it, So I love that you're living the way, because this is home. You've got your husband, your kids. This is home. So yeah.
This is home. I'm vested where I am, but it doesn't mean I don't think about Ghana. I make a WhatsApp video call to Ghana every single day.
What?
Every single day. Yes. And sometimes I call my mom like 5 times a day. Like, Ma, the meat pie, it didn't work. Or, like all sorts of things. Or I put on a lipstick color and I'll call my sister-in-law. I'll like, Bomba, shit. I live here in the United States, but I'm also vested with my people, my family and my friends. And yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about your books. You've written, like, as of now, 4, you're going on to your 5th. Tell us first about how you started writing, or have you always been a writer, even as a child? How did this start for you?
I'd like to brag and say I am so super talented, and that I started writing when I was so young because I had that gift, which is true. Yes. When I was younger, I used to be in school plays, and during my days at Tebri Girls, I was very much for the culture. So whenever we had to do anything entertainment, I'll be the one putting a script together. So I always like to write, and I have a vivid imagination. When I'm cooking, I'll be thinking about something, or when I'm going on a walk. And so I've always loved to write. But funnily enough, I never published my work. I was writing short pieces here and there. And then I had a kid, and my kid liked to write. I was impressed, but I didn't think it was that serious. But when he was 13 years old, he went to the National Spelling Bee
Whoa.
And yes, the Scripps National Spelling Bee. But before he went to the spelling bee, the devil is a liar. He broke his hand, and he was an athlete. He always had to go to soccer practice or those type of things. And so because he broke that hand, he was in a cast when he went to the bee. And when he got back, he couldn't go back to sports because he had to remain in the cast for a minute. And he had started a school project, which had turned into a nonprofit. And so he had started getting all these speaking engagements, and people were asking him when he was going to share the process. And so this little kid decided that he was going to write his thoughts because he had nothing going on. He couldn't play video games because he couldn't work with his thumbs. He couldn't go to sports, and he was basically stuck at home. And so he decided that with that the good hand, he was going to type one at a time. And so he typed up, and he had this little book, which I thought, okay, let's get it published for him. And that book, I actually have it with me. It's Kids Can Change the World.
Oh my God.
His name is Adom Apia.
He was 13.
He was 13. His picture, he was so little. He was so little with his bow tie. Yes. And so he wrote the book. But before that, when he was in second grade, we had enrolled him in a writing class because he liked to write and make up a lot of stories. So I guess it helped with his writing flow. And so he had the book. And I thought to myself, that about write your book.
Not me.
Not me. And so, because although we had invested in him and he had he went to Johns Hopkins Center for Talented Youth.
I always wanted to work there when I was younger.
Yeah. And he did a writing series, a series of writing courses at that young age. He started when he was in second grade. I think he was 8 years old. But we thought if he really likes this, we'll just invest in that. And so I thought to myself, look, I could do this. I like to write. He has the genes from me. Let me go ahead and, put things into a substantive form because I'd written bits and pieces here and there. And in the meantime, I had also taken creative writing. I had done writing from the reader's perspective at Duke University. And so I said, why am I doing all this writing? Because I was writing business plans. Because I'm a management consultant. So I was writing business plans and strategic writing, conducting strategic planning sessions. So I used to write a lot. I just wasn't going into the fiction. So I thought to myself, you know what? I have ideas. So let me put a story that will resonate with my Ghanaian community and my American community together. And that's what ended up with my first book, which is The Shimmigrant. And The Shimmigrant is really simple. It's she immigrant put together. And so that was my first book, The Shimmigrant. I didn't know it was going to be such a hit. Before I knew it, it was being read in colleges. It was, it was at book clubs. And then I started calling myself Shimmy Shimmy, and that's the writing process, and before long, people were asking for a sequel. So then we came up with my second book, which is very relevant. It's about 4 women from diverse backgrounds. But the first woman in The Shimmigrant, Sasha, Obaya Sasha, who is originally from Kumasi, is in Same Elephants because she's grown up a little bit, and it's her and her college friends. So yeah, that's my writing journey. Now I have a children's series that's up. I'm trying to get to show you the series. Is Sasha Goes to America, which is the first in the series, and the second is Sasha Perseveres in America, and the third, which is coming out later in September, is Sasha Dreams Big. And it's the same Sasha who is in The Shimmigrant. So Sasha Goes to America, Perseveres, and Dreams is a younger kids version. It's called the Young Shimmigrant series of The Shimmigrant. So I'm really staying on course, and I love that character in there.
I bet you're enjoying it. And there's a question just came to mind that I need to ask you. I think I should ask you before my main question. Are you planning on, or are you already teaching other women how to write? Because, this series, it's beautiful. And I was just recently having a conversation with a lady who does amazing storytelling. And I was asking her, are you looking to write as well? And I'm thinking that someone like you will actually be of value to such women. So this is just, by the way, are you looking to coach other women into writing as well?
I do coach other women. I am the founder of Innovation Group, which is a management consulting firm. We have other arms, which I have a nonprofit that's under Innovation Group called Girls for STEAM, Girls for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. We also have Giving Book Day, where we give books to children all around the world. We've actually partnered with Project Lit Ghana to supply books to kids in Ghana as well. And so we have Giving Book Day, and then we have Bomaski, which is an authentic shop where you go and you get some African wear, bags, whatnots. And then there's Marjy Consulting, which is my main job. And so that is the management consulting arm where I work with small to mid-sized businesses on their strategic planning. We do board trainings and whatnots. AAA Press, we do consulting with folks who want to write, who want to publish. And I've actually worked hand in hand with a few Ghanaian women who have books out there. Rosemont Sapon Owens, she calls herself.
Okay, so I heard that from you yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, she calls herself the Lion's Historian. She has a children's book series that are out. So I work with her on the first one, the second one, and the third one. And now she's working on more. I helped her with, crafting some of her sentences and, stuff like that. There are a few trailblazing Ghanaian women that I have worked with on their books, whether it's their content formatting or even how to market it or their strategy on how to launch it. Yes, so I've done that and I continue to do that.
Fantastic. So I already know who I'm going to ask to talk to you very soon, because I was recently having that conversation. I think that you'll be in a way better position to help this woman. So I'll reach out to her and let her know.
Yes, send her to my website, marjymarj.com, and let her contact me.
Excellent. So now, speaking of writing, let's talk about women like me living in Ghana, different parts of Africa, who feel like, I wish I could write too. But then again, there are so many other writers. Like, there are so many millions of books. Like, why should I write? What value am I going to add? What difference will it make? What do you have to tell such a woman?
Can you imagine if everybody thought like that, then we wouldn't have any books out there.
Bingo.
There's so many stories to tell, and there's only one you. Whether you're writing a fiction story or you're writing a nonfiction story, it's important to share that story. It will resonate with someone. Just don't do it haphazardly. Just don't think that because I want to write, I'm just going to write and it's going to get published and it's going to be a hit. No, make sure you're going through the right process, that you're not going to turn in something that has typos. And if you're writing something that is, for example, nonfiction, you make sure you don't put any lies in there that 6 years down the line, it's going to be like, she said she hopped on the trotro, but there was no trotro at that time, or stuff like that. Sometimes people make up stuff, and I will tell you, like, I'm not gonna name names, but there are some authors that people really hype up. Even Oprah will hype them up, and those of us who know how the story is supposed to be like will read it and see the holes. But people don't see the holes, but that credibility really matters. There are things that you just have to make sure that when you're writing, if you're making up stuff, that's different. But if you're writing nonfiction, you got to be cautious and put quality stuff out there. But there's so many, everybody has a story to tell. So if you want to write, I say go for it. Do your research, find a mentor if you don't know what to do about the process, and hey, get going.
Get going. I love that. And I've followed you for a while. I see you're also big on hyping, especially other women. I mean, you've already dropped a few names already. And earlier in the conversation, you also mentioned your community. So I see you as having a community of supportive women. I'm sure it's not only women, but especially women supporting you. And you are big on women winning together. Tell me, what has worked for you among you and your women or female friends, and what can we glean from it as well? So as we look to build our own community of friends, we can win together as women.
First of all, much respect to the men who are listening, and to the men out there who have supported me, who are part of my tribe. I do not mean any disrespect to you. I am just this advocate who just sees the power of women, and I can't help myself but to get excited when other women succeed, or to get excited and support other women. I do love my men and wish them well. I know that I have been called out sometimes. Yeah, even in my own household, even my son has called me out. Yeah. He said, you would never write about a guy. If you write about the guy would be bad. I said, no, I would not do that. So full disclosure, the men out there, I respect, admire, and appreciate you. I have a very supportive husband who supports me behind the scenes. He bends over backwards. He picks up boxes. So respect to you, men. But when it comes to the women, I see that, it says that one person cannot go as far as when we are together. Together we can go far. And I realized that by having other women as my allies, we are able to have a bigger impact. It's so important. Sometimes women hate on each other. And trust me, even when I talk about women winning together, there's some women who will pretend to be on your side, but they will be snakes. They don't mind biting your head off anytime. You have to be cognizant of that, because it's not everybody who's going to like you. And it's not everybody who is going to want you to progress. Your light may be too bright for someone else. Or there are some people that just want to get the shine for themselves. They're those people. But you know what? There are also very good people in this world. People are innately good, and I truly believe that. There may be some bad apples, but people are innately good. And so it's so important that, like, I may not have a certain skill set, but I can borrow that skill set from my sister, who may have, who may be better at something else that I'm not good at. Yeah. And so once we put our forces together, we're able to get into certain rooms that ideally you may not be able to get in. For example, my African-American sister, Mary Thomas, she has a voice in the community that I may not necessarily have, but together she will push my idea to somebody else, and I can push her idea to somebody else too, because although we may work together, we may not necessarily always be in the same circles, and so we will be able to have a bigger impact that way. It is just so important to fall back on each other and support each other, because, when I succeed, I'm not going alone. I'm bringing someone with me. Yeah. I don't like flying, but I'm going to use a plane as an example. If I buy a jet right now, and I don't have a jet, folks, but if I buy, amen. But if I buy a jet right now, I cannot ride on it alone.
Exactly.
And so I will need writers to go with, and that's how it works. It doesn't hurt any to lift your sister up. It doesn't take anything away from you. When the sun is shining in New York, it is still shining in South Carolina. And even though that sun may not be shining in Ghana at that time, it may have shined 4 hours earlier. So there is enough sun to go all around the world. We've just got to make sure that we all get some of the sun. It's enough for all of us. And in the same way, there is enough darkness to go around all the world, because when it's night, it's always night somewhere. And so there are people that may be going through something, and by reaching out and supporting each other, you will be lifting that person up. Sometimes someone may be feeling so down, and it's just that one voice or that one reassuring word or sentence that will lift them up out of their misery. We've just got to be there for each other. It's worked for me. My life is not perfect. I am still in the process of becoming. I have not arrived yet. I don't know anybody who has arrived, actually, because I don't think even Beyonce has arrived. She or Oprah or any big name out there, Michelle Obama, everybody is working towards a process. And even when you hit the first goal, there is probably a second goal. Even if you get a platinum album, maybe you want 10 more platinum albums. You know, there is always something that you were working to make yourself better. And so we are all in the process of becoming. And for some who may even think that, oh, I can never get to my dreams, I can never, things don't seem to go well for me. Your time will come. I mean, there have been times where I have faced disappointment, where I have sat on the floor and screamed, because when it's time for you to scream or cry, let it out. Don't keep it in. Let it out and pray to your God and ask for a sense of direction. Absolution will come.
Oh, this is beautiful. Goosebumps. Now, I know those watching will say, I'm in her goosebumps, but I'm just getting showers of goosebumps right now. That's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Marjy. Before I let you go, there are some questions or sentences that I'll ask you to complete. And then you just give us what comes to mind first. Okay. So the first one is, if I could advise my younger self in one short sentence, I would say,
oh, I had the sentence. Now I can't even think about it. Oh my goodness. Be confident. Be confident. Because remember, I was telling you how I used to behave like in Sunday school and when I initially started secondary school. And, you know, despite outwardly looking like I had my act together, I still lacked that. You know, I would have to go walk all around because I had seen, I had seen the group, you know, Ken, Tasper, all these people who are my friends now, and some of them were my friends then, but my lack of confidence, because I couldn't even walk past where they were standing because I didn't want to say hello. I didn't know how I was gonna talk to them, or so I had to go walk. I would tell my younger self, be confident.
Be confident. Anyway, second one, I am fabulous because
I am me.
Yes, because
I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And you've got to be, seriously, you got to be you. There is one you, one unique you. Never try to be somebody else, because when you try to be somebody else, you may not find your happiness.
Exactly.
Because you're trying to be that person and you don't know what that person's end goal is. Exactly. As to why they are the way they are. So be you, be authentically you, and you will be as fabulous for you. Even if you're like me and you like to wear all these bright colors that drives some people crazy, just be you, be authentically you. It's not everybody who's gonna like it, but you can't please everybody. Look, Jesus was betrayed. How about you, man? So yeah, I am fabulous because I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
I love it. And then the final question, one book that has greatly helped me in business is?
Well, I would, this book by Spencer Johnson, it's called Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh my God, that's the book of the month for September.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, yes. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful book. The book speaks profound truths. Even when you're dealing with change, you've got to pace yourself. I got that book was recommended to me several years ago when I was in grad school. I don't remember if it was during my MBA, where I had to read that book, and it kind of helped me to decompress and to know that change is okay, and things don't always have to go a certain way for it to be successful. So I would recommend. I would recommend to listeners that they read Who Moved My Cheese, and it's by Spencer Johnson. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marjy. You're such a deep person, the way or maybe, I don't know, maybe you are just well read or you've really experienced stuff, but the way you put words to the simple things, it's really lovely having a conversation with you. I could do this with you over and over and over again. I have to find another reason to bring you back.
Yes, yes. We could talk about all sorts of topics. We could talk about fashion. We could talk about parenting. We could talk about, how to be. I could go on and on.
Stuff.
What did you say? I missed that.
Bedroom stuff.
Oh yeah, we could talk about bedmatics, whatever you want to talk about. Hey, um, I'm down with that. Yes, and
We did a women leaders retreat, and then one of the ladies was like, you know what, one of the sessions should be on that. So I know it's something women want to talk about. I want to be in a room where we can talk about things like that. So yeah, let's see.
Wonderful. And that is all part of being authentically you.
Mm-hmm.
No need to hide. No need to hide. Be authentically you. Be confident in who you are. It's so important with our business life, with our professional life, and even with our home life. Can you imagine pretending to be somebody else on a daily basis? That would be tiresome.
Exactly.
That would be tiresome. So just be you. And it's good to have mentors, role models, people to look up to. I know that there's some people that could even just watch a video and watch how someone conducts themselves so that they would know, to learn how to speak publicly or how to. Yes, it's important for you to better yourself. But at the end of the day, be authentically you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So where do we find you? I know you've mentioned your website already, but if you could just say it one more time.
Well, I'm very easy to find. There's lots of information out there, but the simplest place to find me is marjymarj.com. My name, Marjy, Marjy, and the last name, which is not really the last name, Marj. Yeah, my original name is Marjorie Boafuapia, but I go by Marjy Marj. Yes. So find me at marjymarj.com, www.marjymarj.com. You can contact me by the contact page on there. You could read about our blogs, about all these amazing people that we highlight. You can learn about the podcast or subscribe to Marjy TV. You can find information about the books. You could buy it on marjymarj.com, or you could buy it anywhere books are sold. In Ghana, contact Boutique Ghana or Book Nook Store. They have my books. If you're anywhere else, Amazon works pretty good, or you could try Target, Walmart. They all work.
Target and Walmart?
Yes. And your independent bookstore is a really good resource. Now, independent bookstores work very hard to get authors' work out there. And so if you can support your independent bookstore, which would be the bookstore in your town, that would be amazing to do that. On social media, I'm also very easy to find. My handle is this Marjy Marj. THIS Marjy Marj. So you can find me on Facebook. Follow my author page, which is Marjy Marj, and that is facebook.com/this Marjy Marj. Or if you're interested in watching any of our uplifting content, you could find me on Marjy TV. Yes, on YouTube, Marjy TV, and Facebook also has a Marjy TV page. You can follow, subscribe. And on Instagram, hey, find me, this Marjy Marj. Twitter, this Marjy Marj. I'm easy to find. But if you would like to connect professionally on LinkedIn, Marjorie Boafuapia. The middle name there is Marjy Marj because a lot of people tend to know me by Marjy Marj these days. But find Marjorie Boafuapia. Yeah, and that's me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for making time to sit with us so we can ask you all these wonderful questions, and your answers are beautiful. Thank you, and we wish you the very, very best in all that you're doing, Marjy.
Well, it's been a blessing. Thank you for having me. Thanks for the honor. I've been making the rounds to tell everybody who would listen about my books, buy my books, buy my books. And when you buy the books, leave a review. Leave me some stars. If you cannot even write the review once you've read the books, leave me some stars. It will help other people discover our work. And hey, Amma has some books out there. So y'all people who have been listening and tuning into Amma week after week, don't just listen and tune in. Go find her books, support her, learn more about her story, and get the word out there.
First of all, don't you just find Marjy so amazing and adorable? I love her, and she has a way with words, the simple things that we've all been hearing. She has a way of putting them, and it makes them stick. I love that, So, well, thank you for joining me on this episode. Let me know in the comments what spoke to you from this conversation. I took my own, takeaways as always from these conversations, and let me know what spoke to you, okay? Until I come your way again, God willing, next week, same time on Tuesday, right here on this YouTube channel with Mind Your Business. You stay blessed, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ta!